had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with speakers and stuff, and I was like a sex slave, okay? For them, that's what I was. That's all right?
Now, Cassie is Cassandra.
You heard that? That's one of the darkest things I've ever heard. That is one of the darkest things I've ever heard. Many people are not willing to handle this. Like, it's not even an argument. It's not an argument that P Diddy is gay. It's not even an argument. Nobody can argue that.
Hey, sur la route, moi j'ai garde à foi. Je regarde juste en avant, j'ai la tête sur les épaules. Si je vois les étrangers, je les invite bien chez moi. Je leur parle un peu de Dieu, je leur dis gardez la foi.
Now, let's do this again. Let's do this again. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P Diddy, whatever you call himself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
It is one of the strangest interrogations we have ever covered here on Sidebar. And in light of a criminal indictment against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, some people are seeing it in a whole new way. We're taking another look at the bizarre claims made by a man accused of shooting up one of former President Donald Trump's Florida hotels and his connection to Sean Combs. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Webb. So as you know by now, rapper Sean Diddy Combs is facing sex trafficking and racketeering charges out in New York City, accused of using force and coercion to get people around him to facilitate and participate in so-called freak-offs, these group sex sessions that sometimes last for days at a time. The criminal indictment lays out the allegations, only names Combs as the defendant, although that could potentially change down the line. We may see more defendants. But since Combs has officially been charged and he's locked up behind bars, there have been a lot of videos that have been surfacing, particularly online. And one of those videos is the interrogation of a man named Jonathan A.I. The state attorney's office says that A.I. fired shots in the lobby and toward the chandelier, then draped a giant American flag across the front desk. There was a shootout when Miami police got to the scene, and A.I. was shot in the leg and tried to hide, but he was taken into custody. He faces multiple charges: attempted murder, armed burglary, grand theft. Now, you might be saying, well, why are you talking about him? What is his connection to Sean Combs? Well, once A.I. was released from the hospital, he did an interview with police where he repeatedly asked to speak with the FBI, the CIA, Secret Service, the media. And during that conversation, he brings up, of all people, Sean Combs. Now, some specifics. And I want to bring in retired NYPD detective Tom Smith to talk more about this. Tom, thanks so much for coming on. We haven't had a chance to talk about the Sean Diddy Combs arrest, the indictment. I'll first ask you about the arrest, and then we'll get into the Jonathan A.I. situation. But what's your overall reaction about what happened last week? And particularly, I thought it was really interesting because there's this video that's been surfacing, I believe TMZ published, where you can see agents arresting Sean Combs at his hotel at the Park Hyatt. He knew this was going to happen, seemingly. He came to New York to face the charges, but I don't think he knew at that moment he was about to be detained. There was a question about, did he want to surrender himself? But they detained him in the hotel lobby. What did you make of that?
Well, it's how it's done. You have indictments, you have an investigation and indictment. And let me tell you something about the Southern District of New York in the U.S. Attorney's Office. They are the most powerful, strongest U.S. Attorney's Office in the country. And they do not just do a case, okay? They are airtight when they are brought to them. They do not prepare for a trial. They put so much pressure on the defense team and on the defendant with the amount of evidence they have and witnesses and electronic surveillance evidence, all of.
That's what I said. I said these people, when they come to get you, cases like this, they do not just come and get you. They get ready for years. I mean, I get that. Even if it took them years to get ready for this, but we are still wondering why they took so long with all the evidence that we have on the streets already. With all the evidence that was on the streets, why they took so long.
Of that into a packet. They don't move forward until they have you.
Something, yeah.
And Diddy is in a lot of trouble with the Southern District being at the point they're at right now. He has a lot to look forward to because, like I said, U.S. Attorney's Office, Southern District brings cases that are airtight, and they don't move forward until they're ready.
Hey, by the way, we really appreciate you guys coming to us for our Sean Combs coverage. We plan to continue to bring you updates on this story. And look, the reason we're able to do this is because not only of the support that we get from you guys, but also from our sponsors. And if I can, I want to call out one right now, Upside. So this is so cool. Upside is a free app that helps. Adi is rambling for a while, and he's talking about different conspiracy theories. And then suddenly he mentions Combs.
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
P Diddy, whatever you call himself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people. Okay.
Quick aside here, the Boule is a...
He said it's for black people? Is that what he said? I mean, like I told you guys before, Diddy, I know for sure Diddy is connected with the Freemasons because you cannot be that high up. You cannot do the things that this man's been doing. You cannot do so many bad things and not get locked up. Diddy been doing bad things for so many years. He did not get locked up. And I said, it is because of the people that he's connected with. He's connected to the people high up. Like I said, the Freemasons, they take care of their own. They take care of their own. So at this point, like I always say, I keep saying, Diddy's not going to jail because he's been doing evil things. Because that's all they do, man. That's all they do, evil things. He's going to jail because he's messing up so many times. And he is exposing people by messing up. He's taking people down with him. That's the case, you know? Let's watch.
Real thing. It's the senior leadership of Sigma Pi Phi fraternity. Our understanding, it's the oldest postgraduate fraternity founded by and for black men. It was secret in the beginning, but not anymore. It's been rumored that Sean Combs might be a member, but he's not. Tom, first let's start there. When you're interviewing somebody like this, who allegedly just shot up a public property, you have to take what he says with a grain of salt, I imagine, but you don't want to just ignore everything he's saying, right?
Of course not.
No, not at all. And you know what? I was always taught when you're doing an interview like that, you do more listening than you do talking.
Yes.
And you let them talk.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing what people will bring up when they're in the situation that this individual was in. People will give up anything they have in their back pocket, experiences they've had or who they've had them with will all come out during interviews like this. And you have to kind of break it into categories of believable, 50%, 25%, and 25%. You know, you have to break up what you're listening to, but you don't stop listening and you take notes. And there's a way to kind of go about doing it in not getting him off track. If he starts to go down a road that's really weird, you can always say, hey, hold on to that for a minute. I'm interested in that, but hold on to that for a minute. We're going to go back to this. The Diddy information is really interesting because that can be pushed back and seen if he's actually where he was at that time. But the information that he was given during that interview was really interesting because it's all true right now.
Let's talk about what he said in that interview. So Adi claims that Combs is connected to this larger agenda to try and run the world.
It's true that it's an agenda, but it's a fact. It is actually a thing. It is a thing that's been happening since Nimrod. Nimrod is a pagan god. Okay, Nimrod, way back, King Solomon. Okay, King Solomon going back to Nimrod, going back to going down till today. Going to the Romans, going to the Greeks, okay? The Romans, the Catholic, the people that run the whole world, man. See, the world is ran by two people, two forces. Black magic and white magic. White magic is considered the Romans, okay? The Romans, like Rome, like Italy, those people, Catholics, okay? And then black magic is the Freemasons. But again, those people, they worship the same deity. They worship the same God, which is Satan. They worship the same exact thing. Now, some people may argue this. People may disagree. Like somebody say, "Oh, I know Freemasons. They do nothing good." All they do is good. I've met a Freemason. He said, "No. All we do is good." He had like tattoos everywhere on them. And then another guy I talked to him is like, I talked like 4 people. All they say is good things about Freemasons. But here's what they forget. You do not know nothing about Freemasonry. Like, let's say level 1, right? Level 1, you only know to level 1. You only know what's on level 1. Level 2, you know to level 2. That's it. 3, 4, 5. Like 33rd degrees is like the highest, right? It's like a master, something like that, right? So you will not know what is on top until you get on top. That's it. So you can say that at the bottom, they get you to go and help out people down the street, go to the hospital, take care of people. Yeah, but that's just a cover, man. We know it's deeper than that.
He starts to talk about Combs. He reveals something that the detectives really weren't expecting.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with speakers and stuff, and I was like a sex slave, okay? For them, that's what I was. That's all right?
Now, Cassie is Cassandra.
You heard that? That's one of the darkest things I've ever heard. That is one of the darkest things I've ever heard. Many people are not willing to handle this, but guess what? Whatever is done in the dark always comes back to light. Many people are not willing to hear this because they love this man so much. You cannot have no idols, man. A lot of people out there, they love this man. Regardless of the things that come out about this man, people will still say no, 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 no. Even if this man takes somebody out in front of those people, they will still say no, 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 because they love him. They're in love with him. He's their idols. They're just like we say, idols, man. Have no idols. Thou shalt have no idols. Have no other Elohim beside me. That's what Yahuwah said. You cannot have any other Elohim beside Yahuwah. Let's get it, man.
Her. This is Combs' ex-girlfriend, who filed the initial civil lawsuit against him last November, really kickstarted this entire legal story because we saw after that a whole slew of other lawsuits that came out. And eventually this led to the federal criminal indictment. And while she isn't named specifically in the indictment, she is believed to be the person identified as victim number 1 in this indictment. It's with respect to the sex trafficking charge. And her story in her lawsuit and the accusations in the indictment seem to line up. And Cassie claims that Combs abused her for almost their entire 10-year relationship.
So why would nobody did nothing though? Nobody did nothing. You guys seen this lady getting beat up on camera, man. Nobody done nothing. The diddler did that. Nobody done nothing, man. Yo, something.
Using his money and influence to keep her from leaving, she claims Combs would.
He's a witness in the present day. They're going to go to him to see what else he knows. Now, when you have an individual like this, when you get him in this session now of being a witness and you can kind of guardrail his way of thinking instead of just letting him go off on tangents, who knows what else he has or what other information he has about other crimes that were committed, who else was involved. There's a lot there, and you have to, take him for his word right now until it gets to a point where you don't anymore. But he's going to start corroborating a lot of the information that's out there right now.
And he claims that he participated in some of these sex sessions. And he also says he caught an STD.
I caught herpes, and I came back and I sued him for the herpes and won. But they did Mark Eros and Ben Mercedes were his attorneys, okay? And Christopher Leon's here was my attorney. They asked me to turn in that, which was the video recording, and I did so. They gave it back to me accidentally, and it's possible, I threw everything out, it's possible I can produce a copy.
So again, this interview is taking place back in 2018. Cassie's lawsuit wouldn't be filed until November of 2023, so the officers don't really know what he's talking about. Tom, you think he might be cooperating with the government? Maybe they're speaking with him. The problem is, of course, is credibility, right? And during this interview, Adi makes references to a lot of things. He makes references to a cabal of rich people who control the government. He claims the hip-hop world had its own goal.
That is a fact, man. That is a fact, dude. This man, that what he's speaking is just straight facts.
The hip-hop agenda is an agenda to move drugs all over the United States. You need to involve DEA. They move all the dope, all the dope on private jets, which don't get screened by
customs.
By DEA inside the United States. Okay, they move what's called high-grade powder MDMA. They move cocaine and they move liquid cocaine in the bottles too. Okay, so they put the liquid cocaine in the bottles and they move it. I've seen the liquid cocaine, I've drank it myself, having sex with Diddy and Cassie. Okay, it's not good. He drinks it all the time.
All right, so Tom, what do you make of this? Because again, the question is he credible?
I think he's credible. I know he's credible because these things, like I said, man, we all know that the government and all these people, man, everything is crooked, bro. Everything is crooked. The drugs, no drugs can come in this country without the government knowing about it, man. Everything is controlled. Like he said, this man said there's a power that controls the government. Of course, man. It's not new, man. It's not new. Like, we know that the government does not stand for our Heavenly Father, man. It does not spend. No. You get what I'm saying? So we know that, like I always say to people, that you go and vote, your vote does not matter. The politicians, that all this noise that people making out here, it does not matter, man. It does not, because I know for sure, for a fact, that presidents are chosen, dude. That's just a fact. Presidents are chosen. That's like, it's not even an argument. I cannot even argue this with anybody. You can sit out there and tell me that you vote and it matters. I will tell you that it's just a waste of your. So you're wasting your time. The Black Lives Matter movement, all that is just a waste of time. The protesting thing is just a waste of time. You see, people are just pawns in between these people's game. These are government and then the Satanists and all these people game. We just pawns, man. They put you up, they take you down, they control you. You run up there, you go down there. Come on, man. Nobody's actually pause, okay? Pause and question everything. What is the end game behind these things? What is the end game behind this? You hear what this man saying? Like, it's not even an argument. It's not an argument that P Diddy is gay. It's not even an argument. Nobody can argue that. It's not an argument that P Diddy is linked up with this elite, with this Satanists, with the Freemasons. It's not even an argument. I've never argued this because I know for fact. I know for fact, man. You get what I'm saying?
About the shooting inside the hotel, but listen to what he says.
I've had a great life. I've settled $4.125 million with Diddy. Okay, was he scared that I was going to expose him?
I don't want to talk about Diddy right now. I want to talk about you. Help me understand you. I mean, who?
So yeah, I don't think they realized at the time how potentially valuable this information could be.
That was gold.
And there's no way for us to quite at this point to verify what he's saying. But those can.
I know for sure that. I know for a fact that everything that man is saying is fact. I know for sure that it's a fact. Man, y'all comment below, man. Comment below. Shout out to all this, man, for making this video, man. Shout out to these people for making these videos. And then, yeah, man, comment below what you think about this. And let's get it, man. Let's get it. More about Diddy on the way. More about Diddy on the way.
Ça va, ça tourne, c'est le cama. Hey, sur la route, moi je marche, j'ai garde à foi. Je regarde juste en avant, j'ai la tête sur les épaules. Si je vois les étrangers, je les invite bien chez moi. Je leur parle un peu de Dieu, je leur dis gardez la foi. Oui, nous connaissons la loi, mais on a aussi bien le choix. C'est le bien ou c'est le mal, on a toujours notre choix. Si tu choisis de faire du bien, ça retournera chez toi. Et si tu fais aussi du sale, ça retournera chez soi.